Hello, today I'm going to be unboxing the B860 AORUS Elite Wi-Fi 7 ICE, which is going to be compatible with Intel's new Core Ultra processors. So let's go ahead and get it unboxed and take a closer look at it. So this is everything that comes in the box with our motherboard. So we've got some paperwork including our installation guide. We've got the antenna for our Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.4. We've got two SATA data cables, and great to see that these have all been color matched. And we've got a G connector, which you'll find useful for installing your front panel connectors. Taking a closer look at the motherboard, working along the bottom from left to right. First of all, we've got our HD audio connector, followed by two 3-pin 5V ARGB connectors, and then we've got a single 4-pin 12V non-addressable RGB connector. Next to this, we've got a trusted platform module header, followed by two USB 2.0 ports. We've then got two system fan headers, followed by a system fan stroke water pump header. And then at the bottom right hand side of the motherboard, we've got our system panel header. This is where you're going to plug in your front panel connectors, and we've also got chassis intrusion, speaker and power LED headers. Just above this header, we've got clear CMOS and reset jumpers. Working up the right hand side of the motherboard, first of all, we've got four SATA connectors. We've then got a right angled USB 3.2 Gen 1 header supporting speeds of up to 5 gigabits per second. Beside this, we've got a HDMI 1.4 port, which you'll find useful if you want to go with an internal screen or sensor panel. We've then got a USB 3.2 Gen 2 front panel Type-C header, and it will support speeds of up to 10 gigabits per second. Just above this, we've got our 24-pin power connector. And then at the top of the motherboard, we've got our debug LEDs with a postcode status screen just above this, and you'll find both of these useful if you need to troubleshoot your system. Working along the top of the motherboard, we've got Q-Flash, reset and power buttons. We've got another 3-pin 5V ARGB connector, giving us a total of 3 of these on the motherboard. We've got our CPU fan and CPU opt headers. And then at the top left of the motherboard, we've got two 8-pin EPS power connectors, and we've got our motherboard's fourth and final system fan header. The motherboard features a 14+1+2 twin digital VRM design, and we've got large aluminium heatsinks over the VRM. In the middle of the motherboard, we've got our LGA 1851 socket and standard mounting holes. We've got 4 RAM slots on the motherboard, and it will accommodate up to a maximum of 256 gigabytes of DDR5 at up to 9200 megatransfers per second overclocked. The motherboard has 3x16 size PCIe slots, and it's good to see that our top slot is reinforced, as well as having an Easy Latch Plus button, which you'll find useful for removing your graphics card. This is our Gen 5 slot. The PCIe lanes for it come from the CPU, and it will run in x16 mode. The bottom two PCIe slots are Gen 4 slots, and they'll both run in x1 mode with the PCIe lanes coming from the chipset. The motherboard has 3 M.2 slots. The one behind the large beefy heatsink at the top is our Gen 5 slot, and it will run in x4 mode with the PCIe lanes coming from the CPU. And we've got 2 drives beneath the bottom heatsink. They are both Gen 4 slots, which will run in x4 mode with the PCIe lanes coming from the chipset. No matter which of the slots you install your M.2 SSD in, the process is going to be completely toolless using AORUS's Easy Latch Plus clips. Taking a look at our rear I/O, first of all, we've got 4 USB 2.0 Type A ports. We've then got HDMI 2.1 and DisplayPort 2.1 ports. Beneath this, we've got a USB 4 Type-C port. It will support speeds of up to 40 gigabits per second, as well as DisplayPort. The 4 blue ports are USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type A ports, supporting speeds of up to 5 gigabits per second. And the 2 red ports are USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type A ports, supporting speeds of up to 10 gigabits per second. The one on the left-hand side with the words BIOS above it is where you're going to plug your USB drive if you want to flash your BIOS. And remember that the Q-Flash button that you're going to want to press is on the front of the motherboard. Next to this, we've got a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port, and then we've got the antenna ports for our Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.4. At the bottom of the motherboard, we've got our audio connectors, which consists of SPDIF out, mic and line out, and the motherboard does support 7.1 channel HD audio. So this looks to be a really solid B860 motherboard and perfect for an all-white build. In terms of pricing, I don't have any information just yet, but what I will do is put links to the motherboard in the description when it is available, so you'll be able to click on these to find out how much it's going to cost you. If you have enjoyed this unboxing and overview, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button as well. Thanks for watching.